Welcome back, everybody, and joining us on set here for some Sports Files, one sports anchor Rich Barabi. And Rich, let's bring us up to speed, and I guess we got to start with the hockey, right?
Yeah, let's start with the hockey and the Rangers and Devils. Well, what a Game 5 it was, and this is not exactly what any of us drew up. The Devils scored 3 goals in the first 10 minutes of action, quieting the crowd at the world's most famous arena. But the Rangers did not give in. The Blue Shirts rallied to erase the deficit and tied the game less than 1 minute into the third period. But from there, the Devils regained their composure. Ryan Carter scored the game winner with less than 5 minutes to go. New Jersey won the game 5-3 and now owns a 3-2 series lead, with this series heading back to Newark tomorrow night.
Luck for them a little bit on a couple of them, but I thought we probably played our best game of the series tonight. We've been here before. You know, we were here before earlier in the playoffs, and so we'll just take the next game. That's all we're looking for, is our next game.
Very good. Well, it was nice to hear Tortorella actually speak to the media after this
instead
game.
of like,
that was
you know,
a fuss.
Now, what happened to Lundqvist? I mean, Rangers scored 3 goals. That's a minor miracle here. And the best player on the ice, arguably the best goalie in hockey, he was more than mortal last night. He let some pretty soft goals. Well,
we talked about this yesterday on the show. Lundqvist has 2 shutouts in the series. He had been the difference maker because the Rangers struggled to score goals. So when they fell down 3-0, that Garden crowd was silent. They didn't believe, I don't care what they say now, they didn't believe they were coming back in that game. But they did score the 3 goals because then Brodeur started to struggle. But then Lundqvist had an opportunity to redeem himself, and he let in another one. So everybody seems to say that when Lundqvist has a bad game, he's real strong in the next one. He better be on Friday or they're going to be finished.
Hey, Tom, you went to a game at The Rock, right? Big Ranger family. You
went on
to
Saturday.
The Rock? Yeah, you went
shutout.
Saturday. That's a tough place to win, all right, if you're a visiting team, right?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny though when you listen to the hockey players that the Garden seems to be especially loud. The Rock wasn't overwhelmingly loud. A great place to watch a hockey game, but the players in hockey seem to be home court advantage or home ice advantage really does not play a lot in the NHL. I think on a Game 7 they'll tell you it will. I don't expect that to mean a lot. I mean, the Devils are playing much, much better than the Rangers right now, and it's going to take Lundqvist standing on his head tomorrow night to save the season.
The Devils get a lot of credit for letting the Rangers back in the game and then actually coming back. Right. After the Rangers scored that 3rd goal, the Devils just took over again. Yeah, it was amazing. The momentum was gone when you figured the Rangers would then go on to win. New Jersey completely turned the tables.
You know, even Dominic, who doesn't care at all for hockey, and we'll do all the jokes, Dominic, in the break, but even he remembers the last time the Rangers were here. And there's some weird numerical, if you believe in the numerology, parallels, right? In terms of the same exact dates to the anniversary of the last Stanley Cup run for Game 6 and Game 7, also against the Devils to the day, right?
Yeah, and the most obvious factor is, if you think the Rangers are done, go back to 1994. The Devils led 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Mark Messier made a guarantee we probably all remember. I don't think Ryan Callahan, the Rangers captain now, is the guaranteeing type, but certainly they can go back and look at history and say, this certainly can happen, but they do have their work cut out for them.
Big difference, though.
All right.
No Messier, no Leach.
Different kind of team.
Probably no guarantee. All right. Now, for our Jets here, we know that they've enjoyed the circus routine. And, of course, Tim Tebow adding just a little bit more drama. Not his fault, but adding more drama to a team that certainly didn't need it. What's your vibe? Okay, because today we had OTAs, right? Is he there just for the Wildcat, or is he really competing to start? Because you talk to the players, and I know you do. Right. It seems like they think, maybe not for consumption for the cameras, he's going to be playing a lot, and he might be starting sooner than later.
I think the Jets brought him in to challenge Mark Sanchez and to eventually be the starting quarterback. I really do. They're not going to say it. They don't want Sanchez to be the starter. I think they see dollar signs with Tebow. They see more fans coming to the stadium. They are struggling to sell tickets. You know what? I think some facet of the organization does. I think a lot of people lost a lot of confidence in Sanchez last year, even though he has more postseason career wins than Tebow.
He has more of everything than Tebow. Bringing in Tebow was one of those stupidities, a management stupidity. They may have intended to view it as a challenge. All it does is create chaos in an organization that needs stability. It was dopey. It's going to be shown to be dopey. And Sanchez is the quarterback of that team.
You know, I get it. For other sports and stuff, right?
Absolutely right.
If you're trying to sell tickets, right? If you're the Mets, let's say, or something, and you need to fill the arenas, okay. Sorry, Andrew. But football is different. is waiting lines for tickets. The ratings
Not
are
for
through
the
the
Jets.
roof.
Not for the
Not
Jets.
when you're
does
trying
that.
to sell
Jets
PSLs
are
and the
trying to
whole
sell
thing.
a lot of PSLs. That's what this is all about for the Jets. But as Richard said, how do you take a quarterback that just went from a very, very psychologically bad year and bring in a guy who's a rock star?
Because
he's
they
not
don't want
part of
him
the
to be the
problem.
quarterback.
What's that?
They don't want Sanchez to be the quarterback.
Well,
So they're
then
not
why did you
worried
just give
about
him
his
2
effect.
extra years? You gave him a couple of, maybe $12 million more.
They just signed
It seems
him.
like they're not. Tannenbaum is not running a very good organization right now.
It seems
Just
like
not.
it seems like they're doing a lot of PR moves between the HBO show and some of the moves that they did with the offseason. And Tebow's here with, I assume, to start a George Burns movie. It just seems like it's more for show than it is for actual wins.
We talked about these Rex Ryan Jets when they were doing well, when they were going to AFC Championship games, and we said everybody loves them now, but if this goes
that was
bad,
2 years ago. That
right?
wasn't-
But the minute it turned, people are starting to turn on the Jets and Rex Ryan because they've been doing this stuff now for 3 or 4 years.
Oh my God! Well, what a hot mess that last game of the season was, wasn't it? All right, we got a little bit of time here. Any validity to the rumors that the Yankees could actually be for sale? I know there was denials today, but I trust some of the sources that were saying this. Could there be something to this?
Well, the key factor is if you look at what the Los Angeles Dodgers sold for during the offseason, over $2 billion. And I got to think if you're the Steinbrenner family, who we don't know whether or not they wanted this team after, of course, the boss did pass. Does Hank and Hal want this to be their team for the next 40 years? I don't
They're
know.
not the biggest baseball fans in the world, let's say. I mean, it makes more money than Bain Capital does. I mean, the sports franchises, you keep owning them, you keep
And
owning
Richard,
them.
And I point out
Richard,
that they
Andrew
went to
is
the
a Democrat.
taxpayer
He can't,
for
even when we're talking
to build
sport,
the damn
he
stadium.
can't help
I'm
himself.
actually not.
He's a
I know.
Democrat.
Let
He
me see
can't
if I
help
understand.
himself.
Not
A
a
$3
Democrat.
billion corporation needed taxpayer support to build a stadium. Thank you,
He
Mike
was all over
Bloomberg.
this.
Remember
You were
Reagan
all
Levine?
over that.
Thank you, Mike
Well, how
Bloomberg.
about
you were
this?
right all
For
over
as
that.
much as I think many Yankee fans in the 70s and 80s cursed George Steinbrenner nonstop, the one thing you can say about him, he put the money back into the team here. And one of the few owners, I'm not saying he had to dig into his pocket, but he could have walked away
What are you
with a lot.
talking about?
He's
They are
payroll year
subsidized.
after year.
It's, what are you, for socialism? I thought you were for capitalism.
God.
The socialism for baseball teams. Let's build them stadiums. Let's give tax
He
credits.
didn't have to spend as much as he did on payroll as he did.
Have you seen the area lately? I mean, I have to give them credit. And I grew up playing football over there. Did you see the park that they built for the community? For
Built
the
for
community?
the community.
Dominic? Yeah.
They took $4 billion of public money and put in a $25 million park.
$4 billion?
$4 billion. And the Mets took
I
two.
didn't
and the
know.
Brooklyn Nets are taking another two.
So
they
when you
public
say,
subsidies
when you
here
talk
were
about them
amazing.
putting the money back in the ball club, it's because they have this money that sort
that
of,
we gave
Right,
them,
right.
and then they're going to sell for $3 million.
$3 million. $4 billion.
I'm sorry.
$4
If the
billion.
Dodgers went for $2 billion, what would the Yankees
$4
go
billion.
for? Maybe more.
You know,
Vegas
but
did.
Andrew has the point, though.
I pay $1.25 for
If
him.
you're a businessman, even if you don't want to deal with the baseball side of it, they are just printing cash.
They are.
I mean, Hank and Hal would just say,
But
okay,
all
go.
of a sudden, they're curbing payroll, unlike the old man. They
Yeah,
put no.
280
Payroll for the
million.
first
They
time.
wanna get it
No.
180.
It's going to be under 200
They
next
want it
year.
to. They
They've
wanna-
already
they
said
wanna
they
be
put
180.
restraints on
They
it.
180.
I'm not crying as a fan here, but it's different than when the old man was around. All right, Rich, thank you very much.